right, guys, Kevin of the Louisiana Snake ID here with you on Facebook. Like I said, Louisiana Snake ID. On YouTube, we're LA Snake Boys with a Z. We live in Louisiana, and we had a lot of water come up in our yard because of Tropical Storm Beta. And we had flood waters almost all the way to our house. So we did some exploring one night. Did a live feed with some, while the water was still out. Caught a few snakes. I haven't been off to do a video with these in the daytime, so we can let them go back. The waters are still in the woods back there. You can still see the water back there. But what we caught, guys, was a bunch of cool water snakes. And I want to show you guys these snakes real quick. These are all caught in one little area the same night. So what we got here is almost all of these are, they're all harmless water snakes. Almost all of these are broadbanded water snakes, but we do have in here a really cool one that we're going to get to that one in a second. He bumped his nose in the process inside a container, I think. So we'll do a video with all these guys real quick. But what I'm going to show you real quick is that these are harmless snakes. Try to get this a better shot here. Try to hold them. To show you the different patterns, different sizes we got. This guy here is a bite ear, but we'll deal with him as it is. And it's two little ones, hard to grab. I don't want to drop them. I think there's another one in here. And it bit me. Let's see, come here, buddy. And now they stink. We're dealing with the muskie, but this right here, these are all harmless water snakes. These are all broadbanded water snakes, and we got one Mississippi green water snake in here. I'm going to show you that one in particular. But all of these guys can be recognized by their characteristics of the dark vertical lines on the side of their mouth. As you can see on all their heads, they all have it. I don't know which way he's turning, but they all have that dark vertical line on the side of his head, on the side of their mouths. That's how we tell these are harmless from a safe distance. But these are all broadbanded water snakes. They have really cool bellies. The younger ones, sometimes the bellies are darker. This is a little guy here. This one's got a little more red to it. But they're all... he's trying to turn. Sorry, a little bit. There we go. So his belly's a little different there. But then we got all kinds of different colors, these guys as well. This one's got a little dark color. Let's get the sunlight here. It helps. This one's almost got a solid gray, but it's still a broadbanded. This guy right here in front is a Mississippi green water snake. He looks like he's bumped his head. He got a little... He might be about to shed too. So they're going to be all let go. But these guys are harmless water snakes. They are a few of the different species we have in Louisiana. It's one of my favorite species because their bellies vary so much. These guys, when they're scared, will flatten their heads into a diamond shape. They just do that to try to get you to leave them alone. But they are completely harmless. They eat cold-blooded prey like fish, frogs mainly. But they also, like I said, they get mistaken for moccasins because of the colors, because of their body shape. We have one over here. There's one for sure. Whoops, little guy. There's one that has a stump tail. I think it's this guy right here. Look, his tail's like it's been stumped. Look, he's biting me right now. I can barely even feel it, but I can feel him biting me. I don't know if you can see that or not. He's latched on. He's stuck. I did a video the other day. One of them bit me, and it ended up getting stuck on my hand. This guy's about to shed. His eyes are starting to cloud over. See how his eyes are getting foggy? That means he'll be shedding soon. But all these guys live in the back of our yard back here. I know there's more. We just literally, when we came out here to make the video, I just heard a frog getting eaten. These guys are live eaters, which means that they don't have venom and they don't constrict. So when they catch something, they eat it live. So we heard a frog. We know that sound. We hear these guys eat them. We have some as pets, and it's a sound that you don't really forget what it sounds like. But yeah, these guys are awesome. These are harmless snakes. Very common whenever we have floods, guys. So what does a flood do? Floods fill up all their habitats. So they live in the ground in little burrows and stuff that they've taken over. But because they live in that, whenever the water rises, all of the water pushes them out. So when you have flood waters rise, one of the things we have to be able to look for is displaced wildlife, like particular snakes. You'll see a lot of them. It's good to know the snakes in your area so you can know what's harmless and what is a venomous snake. Venomous ones don't need to be killed, but you just need to know what you're dealing with whenever you see one. And but yeah, all this water right here was about, this is probably about 3 feet, maybe 2 or 3 feet deep right here where we're standing. It's receded some, but it's going to be a little ways longer, so we'll let this guy go. When we flooded in 2016 at this house, the water this area where we're standing right now is about 7 foot deep. So that just shows you how much water we get in this area. Here's the stump, this tail right there. I see him right there. But anyway, so I wanted to show you the video of these guys real quick. I'm going to put them back in a container, and we're actually going to let them swim around. I'm going to do some editing. I'm going to change to a bathing suit so we can do some swimming around. But again, these guys are harmless. To humans, they pose no threat at all. They get killed a lot for no reason. And I just wanted to make people aware of this. This is what we're dealing with here. These are harmless, non-venomous, broad-banded water snakes. We're Louisiana Snake ID. We're not going anywhere, so I'm going to get another snake out of that other container over there real quick to show you. But we're an educational page. We educate people on snakes, show them the benefits. This guy, one thing I do want to show you about this Mississippi green water snake, which is not a very common snake to see, is this. Did I grab?
Yeah, it's the Mississippi.
Okay, yes, that's it. The reflection was blocking the thing on his head. Underneath his eye, he's actually got an extra row of scales. There's like one extra scale right underneath his eye, like right there, that other water snakes don't have. Okay, so that's one way you can kind of tell if you're not sure. Their belly is not usually very, very pretty. It kind of goes from a yellow and it fades into more of a gray. But that scale is very unique to them. It's limited to them. So it is something you can watch for that. Now, real quick, I'm going to close this container because I got another snake I want to show you guys. I don't have any water exactly with me. I wish I did. But let's see. What I got here, guys, I'm going to put these in this out of the direct sun. I don't want to make anything too hot. Just snakes are cold-blooded, which means they can't regulate their body temperature on their own. So we want to be very careful with that we don't overheat them. Look what we got here, guys. This is a venomous juvenile cottonmouth water moccasin. Most people would see this one snake and think it's a copperhead, but this is actually a cottonmouth. I'm gonna get him out real quick and see. Let's see real quick. He's so small, I don't like to use my grabber on the small snakes. Whoops, there you go, buddy. This one likes to hold on to this. When I relocated him, we found him out here, and I was getting him out of this flood waters. I realized he likes to get on the hook like this, like more than most snakes do. But this is a venomous snake. This is a cottonmouth water moccasin. It is a juvenile. You can see the bright green tip of his tail. But a lot of people mistake these guys when they're young for copperheads because people were taught that the copperheads the cottonmouths are going to be a dark color. They're going to be more black. They're not going to have a bunch of bright colors. But these guys actually, when they're young like this, are quite bright. It is pretty cool to see them. Over this container, you can kind of see his bright tip of his tail right there. These are venomous. But one thing we want to point out is that that green tail is not a stinger. They use it as a lure to lure in prey. Wiggle it like a worm. But it's not a stinger. There's no venom in the tail. And another thing that people say is that these juveniles are more dangerous than adults. That's simply not true, okay? This guy right here, while it is venomous, he doesn't have more toxic venom than an adult. He is not, he is able to control his venom output, so he's not gonna bite and just dump all of his venom. But even if it did, I always tell people this, even if he were to dump all of his venom, his head is so much smaller, that his venom glands are so much smaller, that even if he dumped it all, he would have a lot less venom compared to an adult. So they're not nearly as dangerous as an adult, and even the adults aren't greatly dangerous. What I'm saying is, like, there's just a myth that these guys are more dangerous, and I wanted to show that wasn't the case. And I also want, while got him sitting on here, I'm gonna grab a baby broadbanded. He starts to fall off. Let me know. I don't want him to fall because I don't want to grab him. This little guy here. Let me see.
He's falling-ish. He's struck in the health.
He's struck?
Yeah.
He don't like the GoPro. But look, this is the broadbanded, but look how similar their bellies look. Oh, this is the, yeah, see how dark his belly is down the bottom half? Is the other one darker? I think the other one might be darker.
No, this is the dark one.
This is the dark one for sure?
Let me see it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But see how dark and his belly is right here? Let's look at the belly of this guy right here while he's hanging. Oops. Let me see real quick. Can you see his belly at all from that angle? You just swap it, turn him around. See how dark his belly is right there? Look at that. That belly is very similar to this guy. So you can't rely on the bellies, okay? The bellies of this guy are super, super, super similar. You're upside down, I think. So I'm gonna turn the camera the way it's right side up. It'll be weird looking at it upside down.